And a good afternoon, everyone, on this Friday. Roger Hill of Wuthering Heights, VELCO Weather Hazards Forecaster. No weather hazards are indicated for this outlook period that ends 2 a.m. on Thursday for the next 5 to 6 days. We are looking at a kind of Bermuda high kind of flow here. A little bit of high pressure off the coast, not very strong, but enough to make for a flow coming in from the southwest. And really, dew point temperatures are also very, very low across the region. You can see basically almost coast to coast, basically in the 20s and 30s. Now, temperatures are making a nice rise, and we're going to see daytime highs around 55 for today, but the next couple days, in fact, quite a few days thereafter, we'll see temperatures basically in the 60s, going into, not so much on Monday, a little bit of a dip in temperature, but very limited, probably more like 60. And then temperatures close to 65 and maybe some mid to upper 60s in the cards as we head into a good portion of next week. It does look like we will see wet weather to accompany that warming trend with warmer conditions, mild conditions going into next week. And maybe some moderate precipitation, possibly a couple heavy brief showers in the mix there on Monday. Another shot of that along about Wednesday of next week. We have the European on the left, the GFS deterministic on the right, both deterministic models. And what you can see here is a lot of this colder air aloft is evacuating the region on a southwesterly flow. And we have this area of higher pressure, this ridge, influencing our weather, stretching all the way down in the northern Gulf coastal region. The high pressure center way back off the Canadian Maritimes, but it's really going to hold at bay, at least for the weekend, this moisture that's going to start creeping up the coast. It's going to produce some high cloudiness, so solar generation not as good on Sunday, but excellent solar generation for both Friday and Saturday, the rest of today into the day on Saturday. That area of higher pressure then kind of retreats and lets go, and eventually we're going to get into a little bit more precipitation, as some of that's going to kind of work in up the eastern seaboard and kind of cut across parts of eastern New England and then eventually into the state of Vermont. That'll happen on Monday. Some of the rain showers are indicated, the precipitable water somewhere between 2 and 4 sigma standard deviation, so a little heftier rainfall potential. I don't see any thunderstorms, but there could be a couple in parts of New York and southern New England as a possibility. That would take place on Monday afternoon. But for the most part, we're looking at kind of wet weather as this system becomes kind of stalled. And then several different weather systems trying to get together here. One most notably, this is on Tuesday now. It's going to start to work in, and you can see this little pocket of this little area of low pressure that might even be a kind of a hybrid subtropical kind of low that then works near New England and then goes off the coast. It could spread some moisture into the region. But all that will take place on Wednesday and then just beyond the period going into Thursday. Eventually, high pressure is going to build into the region, at least according to the European model. But the models are coming out of agreement at this point in time, and we're talking several days out here. We're talking basically the end of next week. Now, one other interesting aspect is what's going on in terms of anomalous temperatures. So this is the 850 millibar anomalies. And what you can see is we're into cold air right now, and most of the warmth has been back to the west. It's been up in Alaska and so on and so forth. But we're undergoing a weather pattern change that's relatively significant. So as I run the computer modeling, this is the GFS ensemble, the European ensemble. So we're comparing apples to apples here. You can see just how warm it is. This is well above normal temperatures in the 10, 12, 13, 15, 18 degree temperature ranges here. Above normal, so markedly warmer than normal temperatures to end the month of October, and that's going to continue into the first week of November as it looks right now. This is the 26th. You can see that the East Coast and northern parts of Canada, a good eastern part of the country, North America, stays basically under this warmer than normal presence. And all the colder air is going to be in Alaska and then filter down into the west coast. And this is very much starting to set up like a La Nina pattern, which we are kind of counting on for the month of November. Meanwhile, we stay warm. In fact, I'm going to take you all through the end here. This is going out 324 hours. And this is 12, 15 days. You can see that we're still staying above normal going into a good portion of the month of November, at least the first week. And if anything, Alaska is very cold, anomalously cold, and that gets into the west coast. We have no GFS ensemble plumes for you this morning, but this is the QPF for the next 7 days of total precipitation. And what you can see is it's pretty dry for most of the east, except right along the coast, and that's that little bit of precip that's going to be pushing into southern parts of New England very late in the period. And looking at the temperature anomalies, we're a little bit below normal, but we're going to warm things up big time. This is what we're looking at for the next 5 days of MOS temperatures during the maximum temperatures over the next 5 days. And you can see we're running anywhere from around 12 to 15 degrees above normal. And 3 days later, not a whole lot of change as we're going to stay warmer than normal. Again, look at the west, cooling off. No tropical cyclone activity is indicated over the next several days, as a matter of fact. Again, there's going to be a little hybrid system that may make a run a little bit toward New England, something like this, and makes a right turn. But some of that moisture could spread inland, and for a little bit of higher precipitable water, this would be basically for Wednesday. And there's going to be a little bit of higher precipitable water that kind of works in up the eastern seaboard as early as this coming Monday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, unsettled and wetter than normal. We have a pretty fabulous weekend on the way. Enjoy. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights. Thanks for watching.